Hey Sal, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome everyone to episode 18 of Mind and Muscle
Woohoo!
Unleashed. 18-year-olds now. Well, not year-olds, but
I don't know if I want to be 18 again.
oh God, no. Can you imagine?
No.
Definitely not. I'm very happy to be the age that I am actually.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah. How's your week been?
Yeah, pretty good. Training
Yeah.
hard and yeah, just enjoying the training, which is always good. But yeah, no, it's been pretty good. Yours?
Yeah, just fix up your hair a little bit there, babe. I'm not sure what's going on
I
with
don't know
that.
what it wants to
There we
do.
go.
There you go. Points it
I was
up.
like, do I say something? No, but
No,
we're
it's just
friends.
like
I'll say something.
alfalfa.
Oh, before we get into it, thanks to our sponsors, Kojo Coffee. I've actually got coffee in
Me
mine.
too.
I slept like shit last night.
Yeah, just couldn't sleep or
Oh, I don't know. The weather was pretty crazy.
yeah, it was
And the old mind was switching on, and yeah, I was in struggle town. I woke up at like 4 o'clock and then forced myself to go back to sleep, and I reckon like 6:45 I was wide awake. So bit crazy, I don't know.
it's always the way,
So
like you see those memes on Instagram. It's like when I go choose to go to sleep, and then it's like my mind, there's like a bird, like ding, 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 ding.
yes, that was
That's mine.
definitely me last night. But yeah, it's been a good week. I got my cycle back this week.
Woohoo! See all the talk
So
about it, and
I
look.
know we manifested my cycle. So yeah, probably, we've been talking about periods and stuff, so we're allowed to keep talking about it. TMI to the any boys that are out there listening to it. But yeah, it came back with a vengeance, I'm not gonna lie,
Yep.
but we always expected that that would be the case.
Mhm.
But it's so funny because like I messaged my coach, and I pretty much was just like, she's back, like I've got my cycle today, and my coach was like, woohoo, like that's the best news ever. Isn't it funny when another grown man is celebrating because I got my period? And it's not someone who doesn't want me to be pregnant.
But that just shows your body's coming back to, that not that it was in an unhealthy state, but it's that's a good thing. We want
Ah, 100%, yeah. And like when he says, he goes, it shows that your body is healthy enough to reproduce, even though you definitely don't want that right now. And I was like, 100% definitely don't want that right now. But at the same time, I'm also not at any risk of that happening anyway. So
yeah, you need a certain something.
yeah, which I just don't. Oh my god, I don't have the capacity for at this point in time.
Oh.
Oh, I just think that would be something, yeah, way too challenging. Anyway, so long story short, your girl got her cycle back. A couple of days of feeling like I was dying. The cramps were next freaking level. Um, Coach said, pull back, like just take it a bit easier in your training. Like if you're feeling good, go for it. But if you're not feeling it, then, give your body the energy to be able to like
Deal with it.
repair and recover. Um, the first couple of days, it was a bit like that. And then I got to, what day was it? Was it Thursday? And something clicked, and I just went into freaking beast mode.
Woo.
And I've been there ever since. So I've had a couple of like big ass training days, like
Nice.
really big. So I feel like it was, yeah, a turning point of recovery for me, and time to grow now.
Woohoo, exciting.
Yeah, so very, very excited. Had another big session this morning in the gym. Um, it was actually funny because today I trained at a different gym, which is like I've said a few times that I train at a different gym on the weekends just because it's just up the road. And I don't think I will ever get used to people recognizing me that I don't know from Instagram. And like there was this girl there, right? And she was training and she looked phenomenal. Like she looked like she was in prep.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she looked like she was pretty close to competing. And she was using the hip thrust machine. And I sort of went up after and I was like, are you finished with this? And she was. And I just said to her, like, are you about to compete? Are you in prep? And she's like, oh, no, I'm not. I'm like, I've never competed before, but it's something I'm thinking about doing. And I was like, oh, no, that's awesome. And she's like, she's just gone through a bit of a build phase and she's in a cut at the moment. And she's thinking about, oh my goodness, bloody headphones. I have the weirdest shaped ears, obviously, like seriously. I'm just going to have to sit here like this and look like I'm deep in thought for the whole time, or that I'm staring into your beautiful eyes the whole time.
Aw.
Anyway, so yeah, she said that she's looking at competing probably next year. And I'm like, that's awesome. And she's like, oh, she goes, I follow you on Instagram. I'm a big fan. And I was like, what?
Yay.
And she's just like, oh, yeah, I know it sounds weird, but yeah, like I'm a big fan. Like, what are you planning on doing? When are you competing next? And I was kind of like, oh, you know who I am?
You're like, yeah.
I don't think I'll
That's
ever get
good.
used to that. Like, it's the weirdest feeling. But
I think you're gonna have to.
I know, like in my eyes, you know what? Like, I'm nothing special. Like, I'm just me, and I feel like I blend in, but apparently I don't.
No, and I think this comes back to all that stuff we've already covered on. We don't actually know how much we can inspire someone out there without even knowing it.
Yeah.
And it's about, really taking what she said on board, because obviously you've inspired her in a way that you don't even know. So how incredible is that?
Yeah, it feels
That's
pretty
pretty
good.
powerful.
Yeah.
Take
That's a good way
it.
of looking
Take
at
it.
it. So yeah, the build is well and truly beginning now. So I'm super excited about that. Which leads us into, I suppose, today's topic. So we're going to leave the mind alone for a
Good
little
idea.
bit. We decided.
It needs a break.
I think so. Yeah, it's. I think we've covered some really really cool stuff over the
Yeah.
last few weeks. But yeah, I think pretty heavy stuff as well, like some big stuff. And I think giving our listeners the opportunity to implement some of the things that we covered, and without laying it even more on them just yet, I think we can take a little bit of a break and focus on a hot topic at the moment, which is muscle. And
Woo!
we're Mind and Muscle Unleashed. So today we're going to be muscle unleashed.
Love it.
But yeah, I think I don't want to rush through what we will talk about today. So it's possibly going to be another little multi-part
Segment
series, I guess. I think I really like the way that we've been breaking things down and taking our time to go through stuff and not just covering everything in like one episode. I think I've had a bit of feedback from people that they've found it easier to implement the stuff into their lives when we're doing that. So I think I really like how I've been doing that. So I do want to keep doing that for our listeners. I think if you're loaded on too thick and give them too much at any one time, it's like, when you go to a conference and you've got like all of these speakers and it's just so much information coming at you, and you get to the end of it, and even though like just about every speaker you've heard has had like some phenomenal stuff to say, and like you've got the capacity to learn all of this stuff, you still only take away like this small percentage of what was covered for that time.
100%. Like if you think about it as a sponge, like your brain as a sponge. So when you pour into a dry sponge, Yeah, it soaks up the first bit really good, but then as it gets wetter, that excess water just drips out, so you're not retaining half of what you're actually pouring in.
Such a good way to look at it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's where the metaphor of your brain is like a sponge come from. Because
Yeah.
it's literally like a sponge.
Yeah. And we don't want the water just to go pouring off the top. Like, we actually want the stuff that we say to soak in and actually make a difference.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we're talking about muscle today. And I still remember like when I very first started in the fitness industry. So shit would have been, we're talking about 2003. So I know it's crazy, right? Over
Long
20 years
time.
ago. I was a baby. I was still in the Air Force at that time. So I served in the Air Force for 5 years in total. So the last couple of years, I was doing like part-time fitness type stuff. And then the rest of the time I was doing like my Air Force stuff. But yeah, I still remember like when I first started in this industry, it was around the time where like girls and women just like wanted to be skinny.
Yeah.
And like everybody who came and saw you, you'd have like your initial sit down, you'd have your consult, and the goal would always be that they wanted to lose weight, they wanted to get skinny. That was basically, it was just like on rerun.
Yeah.
Every new person that you'd see, it would be the same thing. I don't want to get bulky. Like, I don't want to do weights. I don't want to get bulky. I just want to tone up. Oh my God, the old tone up. Been on numerous diets, yo-yo dieting, you name it. And it was just, yeah, like it was all about getting skinnier and losing weight. And like, I still remember, it was when I first started at Fernwood. So it was when I moved to Adelaide and I first started at Fernwood. That was my first PT job when I moved to Adelaide. And I remember sitting down with this lady and, she did the whole spiel like, I want to lose weight. I want to get skinny. I don't want to do weights because I don't want to get bulky. And I sort of turned around and I was just like, well, look, I do weights. And she's like, yeah, well, I don't want to look like that. I don't want to look like you. And I was like, ouch, burn. It was like, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, yeah, I don't want to have like muscle like you. Like, I was like, okay, yeah, no worries.
Okay.
And yeah, so I reckon that was, for a good few years of being in the industry, that was everybody's focus. We had when I was at Fernwood, we had like the Slimplicity program, which was all about like the weight loss shakes. And remember like
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, all of that sort of stuff. And it just, yeah, it was just about losing weight and getting skinny. But long story short, it's really cool because the narrative, I feel, has really changed and really shifted. And yes, there's still women now who do like want to lose weight and want to get skinny. But I'm finding that the ones that want to build muscle and get stronger and get fitter and get healthier, that percentage outweighs the ones that just want to get skinny.
Yeah. That's really good to know because
Yeah.
yeah.
It's amazing because do you know what, at the end of the day, like, okay, getting skinny, whatever, but getting strong,
Yeah.
building muscle, like, to me, that is something to really be proud of. And I think that's something that's really empowering as a woman to be able to do that. Like, I know for me, it has been.
Oh, 100%. I can definitely say that too. To get stronger and get more muscle has definitely been empowering for me. Yep.
Yeah.
More so
Yeah.
this last year. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's super refreshing. So yeah, now like a lot more women are like their goals are actually to get strong and build muscle. Um, Very rarely do I hear people saying they want to get skinny. And it's really funny the skinny word. I actually take offense if anyone calls me
Yeah.
skinny.
Yeah.
Um, because there's not a lot of work, I guess, in being skinny. Like,
Mhm.
yes, being lean, you want to be lean for comps and whatnot, but in terms of being skinny, like to me, I actually, yeah, like that's something that I find like almost an offensive term. And it's really funny. Like I was training a client the other week who, she's phenomenal and she has built so much strength and so much muscle. You know, this girl, beautiful, beautiful girl, and she works her guts out. And another lady who was in the gym, who I guess probably spent a fair bit of time in that Jenny Craig Weight Watchers type
Okay.
stage, actually said to my client, like it wasn't in a bad way, like she was admiring her hard work, but she said, "Oh, you're so skinny," and instantly I was just like, don't you dare call my client skinny.
Yeah.
I just went into this like almost mama bear mode. And I was just like, do not call her skinny. She is
Yeah.
not skinny. She is strong. She has worked hard for this. Like, I just went into this massive protective mode because it's just like, don't call her skinny. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
she's lean. She's not carrying heaps of body fat, but this girl, like, she is strong and she works her guts out to be strong.
And I definitely think I know who you're talking about. And yeah, she is strong. And you look at her and she just looks phenomenal. Like her physique is crazy. Like
She's just
and that's
she's
credit
this
to
tiny
her.
little thing. Like she's tiny. She's
Yeah. But
petite,
strong.
but oh gee, she's strong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And like that was her goal. She wanted to get strong. She wanted to
Yeah.
build muscle. And she's worked bloody hard for it. So, a lot of people, a lot of women still, like, I'm not saying this is every woman, a lot
Hmm.
of women still like don't want to bulk up. Um, but like the the reality is like if you want to build muscle and you want to bulk up, like it doesn't happen by accident.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't happen because you go to the gym a couple of times a week and lift a few weights. Like it doesn't happen by accident. And being fearful about bulking up and being fearful about getting too muscly, like is almost offensive to the women who have built a lot of muscle because that's making an assumption that the women who have this muscle who are like bulky um, have just woken up one day and they've got all this muscle.
If only they knew how
Right.
hard it
And
is.
and do you know what? As a bodybuilder, wouldn't that be nice? Like,
That would be phenomenal.
mind you, though, the way I see it is if you've got to work damn hard for it, I think it makes you even more proud to have it.
100%, and I can totally agree with that. Like I wouldn't if there was the option just to wake up with all this muscle, I wouldn't take it because what satisfaction and what can you say, oh, I can't say I worked so hard to get that because I didn't. So
Mm,
what are you really acknowledging in yourself? Nothing.
mm,
I'd rather slog my guts out and work as hard as I possibly can, knowing that I did that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's one of these things you can't fake. Like if you want to build muscle, especially as a female, especially
Hmm.
as a woman, like you have to get the recipe right. Like you have to do the things and you have to do the things hard enough and you have to do them consistently to be able to build that muscle.
100%,
Like,
and also like navigating with coaches like yourself because there's things that always come up like roadblocks. So it's not just a straight road of building muscle either, because
Mm.
I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, people have these roadblocks that come up that they have to then work around to keep trying to build that. Would you
Yeah,
agree? Yeah.
100%. Yeah. And it's not something you can buy.
Nope.
It's not something you can inherit. Like literally it is the thing that you have to earn and you have to work your ass for. And like you can't just, it's not like makeup. Like you can't just go and put on a face full of makeup and, like this is something that you have to friggin' earn and you have to work hard on doing. And
Yeah.
I think, yeah. So to me, like seeing, especially women, like because that's sort of, the majority of what I see. Seeing women get stronger and build muscle and throw around heavy weights and like seeing you on the leg extension bloody kicking up 100 kilos on the leg extension, like to me that is like the epitome of just working hard and something that I'm just like, wow, like I'm so impressed by that.
But I think that, that comes back to you as well. Like, I could never do that before. And again, it's about really pushing and understanding what you're getting taught and really pushing for that. Because there's no way last year I could leg press 100 kilo. I
Of
think
course
I was
not,
doing like 60.
but you've been consistent and you've been working
Yeah.
hard, so you've earned that 100 kilos.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
definitely. So yeah, I guess that's probably the first thing that I want to touch on is that if you're somebody who doesn't want to build muscle, like each to their own, you do you, boo. And if you are somebody that doesn't want to build muscle, like you don't need to panic that you're all of a sudden going to get bulky if you walk into a gym and just lift a few weights. Like
Yeah.
it's not just going to happen by accident. But then on the flip side, if you are someone who wants to build strength and wants to build muscle, the the most important thing is you need to understand that you're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to eat right. You're going to have to get that whole recipe right in order for that to happen. So, if it's something that you want, then that's awesome. But you need to want it enough to be able to put the work in and do
Yeah.
it the right way. Yeah.
That's actually a really fantastic way of saying it. You need to want it enough to put the work in. Yeah. I love that. I love that.
It's with anything, right? Like
Yeah.
you can want something, but there's no point setting it as a goal if you don't want it badly enough to do the work to get the thing.
100%. Yeah.
So without wanting to work hard enough, it's just a pipe dream. It's just a wishy-washy, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind having that, like I
Yeah.
wouldn't mind having $1 million, but you've got to put in the work to be able to get to that point. It doesn't
Yeah.
just happen by accident.
Yeah. No, 100% no. You're totally right. Yeah.
So before we're probably not even going to get into how to build muscle today.
That's all right. It's
um,
good for this intro though. Like the way you've said a lot of this stuff, I think we needed that. Even I did. Because a lot of what you've said, the pennies are dropping. So it's
yeah,
it's good that you're giving this. Yeah.
yeah. So there's a couple of myths that I first want to bring up before we even start talking about like how to even build muscle. Like a couple of things that I hear, like I hear people say that muscle is heavier than fat, right? So don't get me wrong. When people are building muscle, it will likely have a decent impact on the scale weight. Okay. So we've talked about it before in terms of like what you weigh is not an indicator of how lean you are or like how in shape you are as such. Um, and a lot of the times, like because when you're building muscle, you do gain weight, and that's very, very common. Because of that, a lot of people get a bit scared when they start training hard and the scales do go up. Or I can see your face. Or on the flip side, they have been training hard, they have been working hard on building muscle. They continue to train hard, but then they go into a bit of a calorie deficit to lose body fat. and they notice that the scales don't drop as much as what they think they should, which can also be a little bit of a demotivator. Why are you laughing, Sal?
I may be living this. No, look,
Do tell.
this is exactly how I'm feeling at the moment. So for all of you who don't know, because Chris knows, obviously she's my coach, my weight hasn't actually been dropping as I wanted and expected it to. And
Yeah.
of
So
course,
Sal is in what we call a pre-prep phase at the moment. So it's kind of like a little practice prep, tidying things up. She's been in a build, she's been in a calorie surplus, she's been training like a beast, building all this muscle. And now we're just shaving off a little bit of body fat. So for you guys who don't know what we're talking about, that's what we're doing in a pre-prep. Back over to you, Sal.
yes, thank you, because I could not have explained it that well. So in my pre-prep, I don't know, I think I had this in my head that I was going to drop, all these kilos and all this weight and be hunky dory, and that's what it was meant to look like. And I guess having training this time around is very different to how I trained last time around. So
Mm-hmm.
I did experience that quite a lot last time. Like I did drop pretty quick.
Yeah.
But this time I've dropped a bit slower and I've actually been weighing a little bit more here and there. And of course, I panicked and ran to you and I was like, I'm weighing heavier. But it wasn't until you explained to me about the muscle mass and like really looking at my muscle mass, my body fat, and all those different indicators that I understood I haven't actually once in my pre-prep lost any muscle mass this time.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And why
And
not?
because well, I've been keeping up my intensity, which I guess I
Correct.
didn't do last time because I didn't really understand it last time
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
understand how important that was until you explained it this time.
Yeah.
So when you explained that I need to keep my intensity, cut out my fasted cardio,
Mm-hmm.
it helped me a lot. And I think they're two big indicators to why I haven't lost muscle this time.
Yeah.
But my body
So
fat is going down too. So my muscle,
100%,
yeah,
100%.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, like, if you think about it, like, muscle doesn't weigh more than fat. Like, a kilo of muscle weighs a kilo of fat weighs a kilo,
yeah.
right? So, it's not that muscle weighs more than fat. It's just that a kilo of muscle looks very, very different to what a kilo of fat looks like. All right. So,
Yeah.
probably the way that I really like to describe it, because it gives everybody a visual. I know that we don't work in pounds, but what's a pound is like, how many kilos is a pound?
I wouldn't even have a clue. Let me. God, it
Well, let's work out
is.
what's 5 pounds. Give me what 5 pounds is.
So what's five
Is it
pounds
2.2
in
pounds to a
kilo?
kilo?
Yeah, I think it is something like that. It is 2.268 kilo.
Okay, so 2.268 kilos, right?
Yeah.
So if you had, I'll put it into perspective for what like people will understand. So if you had 5 pounds or 2.26 kilos worth of body fat, in size, that would be equivalent to about the size of a shoebox,
Okay.
right? Whereas the same amount of weight, if you had that same amount of weight in muscle, it'd be around the size of a hot dog bun,
Wow.
right? Just to put that into perspective.
Wow.
So if you are, like, as an example, let's just say you gained over a period of time. I'm not saying like this is going to happen in 6 weeks, 12 weeks, but just if we did over a period of time, let's say that you worked hard and you gained 5 pounds of muscle and you simultaneously lost 5 pounds of body fat, right? You would weigh the same because you've gained 5 pound of one, you've lost
Ah,
5 pound of one, right? But
yes.
what would happen to your size? So you've basically gained something that's the size of a hot dog bun, but lost something that's the size of a shoebox.
That is exactly what is happening, because I am getting leaner, but I'm weighing the same. But the pennies dropped.
Right. So the reality is your body, if there's a calorie deficit, right, it will do what it needs to do to try and reduce your calorie expenditure.
Yep, okay.
And it can do that by either breaking down muscle or breaking down fat. Because we've spoken about muscle. Muscle will actually burn more calories just existing than what body fat will, right? So let's say that you then come into a calorie deficit. I'll give you two scenarios here, and I'll use you as an example.
Yeah.
So you've worked hard, you've built all of this muscle, and then we put you in a calorie deficit. Your body's going to try and find equilibrium. It doesn't actually want to lose body fat. It doesn't want to lose weight, because the more of those it has, the higher it sees as your chances of survival are. It will try and metabolically adapt and find a new equilibrium, right?
Yeah.
And it will do that by reducing calorie expenditure. So if you are not training at the right intensity, if you are not training at an intensity that tells your body that this muscle is necessary, that it is important that we keep this muscle, it is going to reduce your calorie expenditure simply by breaking down the muscle. It's a needy child.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow. Yeah.
So it will go, do you know what? I'm in a calorie deficit. I want to come back to equilibrium. I'm just going to break down this muscle because it's not getting utilized. I don't need it. And then I can maintain that set point again.
Wow.
However, on the flip side, you're continuing to train at a high intensity. So you've brought yourself into this calorie deficit. You're continuing to train at a high intensity. You're not dropping your weights. You're still working hard. You're still stimulating that muscle. You are still telling your body that it is important for you to keep that amount of muscle because of the physical load that your body is being placed under.
Yeah.
Your body then goes, okay, what are we going to break down now? Let's break down the fat.
Oh.
So what you're doing is you're saying to your body, no, don't break down this muscle. We need it.
Yeah.
So it looks for something else it can break down. That's when you get leaner.
Wow. Wow.
Right?
Yeah, wow.
You may lose a little bit of muscle mass because as the calorie deficit goes on for longer, you might not have the energy to train as hard, right? Yeah. And so you might not be hitting those numbers. And so you may, as you come closer to a comp in your prep phase, it is highly likely that you will lose a little bit of muscle mass just simply because of being in that calorie deficit that you're in and not having the energy to train like a beast. But this is the reason why we do something like a pre-prep phase, is that we can still keep your calories at a place where you've got the energy to train like a freaking beast, but we can do a little bit of a calorie deficit so that your body starts breaking down that body fat.
Yeah, wow.
We don't want to hold it for too long because, again, like by the end, as you know, our listeners don't, but by the end of this month that we're going to go into a bit more of a maintenance, which means I'm going to bring your calories back up. You're going to recover a little bit from this and you're going to be able to go back to training like a beast again.
Yeah.
But we're not going to be gaining that additional body fat.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's wow. This is a great way to understand it. Like covering this, I think, has made, even to me, and I've been training for a while now, that has just made a world of difference to how I see this and understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like your weight can give us an idea, but it's not the full story. It's not the full story. So
And yeah, dropping that mindset of weight is definitely been a game changer in the last week for me. Like, because I was pretty stuck on it. Nearly got banned from weighing.
So how stuck on it were you, Sal? Did you get in trouble?
Oh, I didn't get in trouble, but I needed it because I was very stuck on it, and I nearly got banned from weighing.
I was like, no. I won't go back and find the message, but ultimately I just said, right, I'm putting my foot down. I said, this is it. We need to stop obsessing over the weight. Otherwise, I'm going to take the scales away from you.
And I was like, ah. But it stopped me from obsessing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, we're at about 35 minutes now.
Wow. I can't wait
So
to get more into this next week, though.
We're going to leave it at that. And next week, we're actually going to start breaking down how we build muscle. And
I'm excited.
Yeah. So I'm going to get down to things like what's called progressive overload and talk about like how quickly we can gain muscle. I'm going to talk about what sort of intensity you need to train at. I'll talk about tracking it. I'll talk about programming. We're going to cover a lot.
Perfect. Exciting. Yeah. I can't wait.
But that's it. That's it for today. So
well, thank you. That was really, really good. I think you covered quite a lot and the knowledge we all need. Yeah.
I think it's important. I think it's important because we get so fixated on the weight and not realizing like what it actually does and doesn't mean. Like I see it all the time at the gym. We've got a set of scales at the gym, and I've mentioned it in previous podcasts. I wish that I had the ability to communicate this to every single person who stood on those scales. So you know, like if you're someone who knows somebody who weighs themselves all the time and doesn't understand the things that we've talked about in today's, like tag them, share this episode with them, like pass this information on to them because it does have the potential to really help them.
100%. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. So thanks again to our sponsors. Thanks.
Yes. Thank you.
Salisbury. And
thank you for all your knowledge today.
My pleasure.
It's super exciting. I'm really looking forward to the next one now.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, guys, for listening. We appreciate you all. And share, like, subscribe, do all the things. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.